So today we're heading just a few miles south of Portland to explore the city of Milwaukie, Oregon, a place that's quietly been reinventing itself over the past few years. Now, with quiet and peaceful neighborhoods, river access, significantly more affordable homes, and lower property taxes than its big city neighbor, Milwaukie is becoming a top choice for people who want more space, better value, and a classic Oregon feel. So in this video, we'll take a deep dive into why you should consider moving to Milwaukie, Oregon. So hello, I'm David Backholer. I'm a local real estate broker based here in the Portland metro area, and I specialize in helping people relocate here. Now, every week I release videos on what it's like to live in various neighborhoods and cities across the area. And today we're focusing our attention on Milwaukie, which is just located about 6 or 7 miles south of downtown Portland, and here on the east bank of the Willamette River. So let's start things off as always and take a look at the map so you know exactly where we're located and what else you have in the near area. Okay, so we're on a map. Let's take a look and see exactly where Milwaukie is located. So you have Portland up here. You can just see down below south of Portland in the southeast section, you have Milwaukie. So places like Selwood Moorland is part of Portland. Woodstock's all part of Portland. Milwaukie is directly south of the southeast section alongside the Willamette River. So overall, it's a very well located area. It's in Clackamas County rather than Multnomah County, which all of Portland are located in. That means lower property taxes, but it's still really well located. You can get up to PDX Airport by going up the 205, be up there in about 20 minutes. You've got access to the Willamette River right along here, so you've got some sort of beautiful scenery. The main little shopping area, and in fact there's several shopping areas, but the kind of the older part of town is right along here. You can see as we scroll in, you can see there's kind of a few blocks of shops and cafes and restaurants, and we'll cover that a little bit later. But there is also several other shopping areas scattered throughout Milwaukie. You can see you've got a Safeway up here on King Street, or King Road, sorry. You've got a New Seasons down here, and then there's more right around here, tasting rooms and various different businesses throughout overall as well. Dave's Killer Bread, I think I mentioned that on a previous video recently. They have their main offices here as well, and that's their production. So overall, one of the larger employers in the area. Now, in terms of what you can find nearby, firstly, you're right across the Willamette River from Dunthorpe, and then a little bit further south of that is Lake Oswego. Dunthorpe is arguably one of the most expensive parts of Portland. In fact, it's technically just outside of Portland, but they'll have a Portland address. And Lake Oswego, I think it's the most expensive city in the entire state. So it just gives you an idea that you're just across the other side of the river, some of the most expensive properties in the entire state. So keep that in mind. But properties in Milwaukie are significantly more affordable. And then places like Eastmoreland Golf Course. This is Eastmoreland right here. So just above Milwaukie is Eastmoreland. I featured Eastmoreland on a previous video. Some of the most beautiful homes in the entire city as well. Woodstock, great area too. So you've basically got all of the amenities that Portland has to offer, but in an area that's significantly more affordable in terms of property taxes, significantly more affordable in terms of property prices as well. Homes we'll cover later on, but homes are in the low to mid 400,000 starting point. They do of course go quite a bit over that, but overall it's a much more affordable place to live, but still has all of the fantastic features of the surrounding area. Okay, let's jump back into the main part of the video and explore what makes Milwaukie a really top pick for you to live. Okay, so overall Milwaukee is well located. You're about a 15 to 20 minute drive into the city, or even faster if you hop on the Max Orange Line, which has a station right in downtown Milwaukee. You've also got Selwood to the north, Oak Grove to the south, and Happy Valley and Clackamas just a short drive east. Okay, so there's several reasons why you're going to want to consider moving to Milwaukee, but the top reason is affordability. Homes in Milwaukee are generally far more affordable than Portland. And another factor to keep in mind regarding affordability is that Milwaukee is located in Clackamas County, which tends to have more favorable property taxes than Multnomah County, where Portland is located. Now, in terms of housing, Milwaukee has a real small town feel, but with pockets of urban energy and a wide variety of homes. Now, the city itself was founded in 1847, but the main boom in housing came from the 1950s through to the 1970s, where it grew in population from under 2,000 people to over 16,000 people during that time. Now, today there's still only around 21,000 residents in the city, so when you look at homes here, the majority of them date back to that big boom in the 1950s. So with that in mind, you'll find a lot of mid-century ranch homes which were very popular in that 1950s and 1960s era. You're also going to find some split level homes here too, as that dates back to around that 1960s time. So overall, I would say if you're someone who values single story homes that are perhaps on the smaller side, you're going to find a lot of options, especially those mid-century ranch homes throughout the neighborhood. It's a great area for starter homes. It's also a great area for those of you who might want to be downsized into a single story property. Now, later in the video, we will of course talk a lot more about property prices, but to give you a high level overview, you can buy a smaller home here in the low to mid 400,000s, and the larger properties might be around the mid 600,000s and over. Now, the average home price is currently sitting around $575,000, and that's noticeably more affordable than Portland. Now also, if you're looking for a fixer-upper or a home on a larger lot, Milwaukee's also going to have some good options there too, perhaps more so than many of the Portland neighborhoods. So the downtown Milwaukee area has seen a lot of revitalization in recent years. Here you've got charming older homes, walkable streets, coffee shops, bookstores, and then also the Max line stops here too. Now, it's a great place to live if you want to be part of a growing community close to all these features on your doorstep. Now, if we talk about noticeable employers in the area, then we have to spend a moment and talk about Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse is known for publishing works including Sin City, Hellboy, as well as creating many characters that have turned into film or television characters, including The Mask and The Time Cop. Now, their main office is right here behind me on Main Street. Now, one of the great features of Milwaukee is the beautiful access to outdoor areas and nature. And I'm currently standing in the Milwaukee Bay Park, and that's located here on the Willamette River. Now, here you'll also find an area to launch your boat. We've got kids' playgrounds, picnic areas, and there's also this waterfront trail right behind me that goes along the river. Now, some other features in the area if you're looking for an active lifestyle are the Elk Rock Island. That's a true hidden gem with rocky outcrops and native plants. You've also got the Springwater Corridor Trail connecting you to Selwood, East Portland and Gresham. And then if fun in the water is your thing, the North Clackamas Aquatic Park is not far from here. This is a very large indoor swimming center and water slides for all ages. Now, Milwaukee is a very dog and kid-friendly city with big parks and a slower pace than Portland. but there's still plenty to do, especially if you enjoy being in the outdoors. Okay, so now before we continue with the video, I did want to remind you that every week I release new videos on what it's like to live in the Portland metro area, so be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that content. Also, don't forget that I am a real estate broker, so feel free to give me a call, send me a text or email, or alternatively, scan that QR code you see on the screen. That way you can schedule a one-on-one Zoom call with me. Okay, so now let's change topics and talk about schools in the area. Okay, so schools in Milwaukee, they have a fairly average rating compared to other places in the Portland metro area. The ratings I use come from greatschools.org, and their average rating nationwide is somewhere around 5 and 6 out of 10. And overall, Milwaukee does fall a little bit below that average rating. Now, there's a few different elementary schools in Milwaukee. You've got Oak Grove Elementary School and then Ardenwald Elementary School. Both of those have a rating of 5 out of 10. And then the Linwood Elementary School has a below average rating of just 4 out of 10. Now, Rowe Middle School, that has a disappointing score according to greatschools.org of just 2 out of 10. And then the Putnam High School, that one's rated 4 out of 10. Now, Milwaukee High School has also a very low rating of 2 out of 10 as well. So overall, school ratings in Milwaukee are lower here compared to nearby areas, especially around Portland and places like Beaverton. Okay, so now let's take a quick walk around and a drive around the area, and then we'll spend some more time exploring what's currently on the market. And of course, we'll spend some time digging into property prices in the area. Okay, so now let's spend some time looking at how much it costs to purchase a property in Milwaukee. And right now we're on my website. I've got everything in Milwaukee selected. You can see there's 147 properties currently on the market in Milwaukee. And you can see it's kind of spread out. It's got kind of a big area that we cover. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind. I mentioned earlier about the census information and when that big boom happened in Milwaukee. Around the 1950s and 1960s is when that population skyrocketed. What that means is the types of properties you'll find is what was popular during that era. And that was a lot of single story properties. Some of those smaller ones, 1,000 square feet, 1,300 square feet, and also some of those split level homes as well is what you're going to find quite a lot of those options in the city. Now, there are other options, so there'll also be homes that date back over 100 years old, so they'll have a very different style, maybe more craftsman in style. And there are also some more modern houses as well. And you may find some extravagant houses along the river, but those are few and far between. So there is a real mix. I would say the biggest most common type, I should say, the most common type of home you will find is those single story homes, kind of those tract style homes, 12, 13, 1400 square feet. That's what you're going to find throughout the entire city. So if you're someone looking for a single story home, maybe you're a first time buyer, or maybe you've downsized and you don't want to be handling stairs, this is going to be a fantastic option. In terms of price points, you will find a few homes under $400,000. They probably need some work. realistically, starting price for a home that's a bit more ready, a bit more move-in ready, you know, 1,000 square feet is going to be 450,000. But once you start getting higher than that, you know, a larger property, you're looking at 500, 600, 700,000. And you can see for yourself, let me just zoom into the Llewellyn neighborhood, a beautiful area. Lots of properties here. There's one here for 369. It's probably a little bit more of a fixer property. One here for 499, kind of a cute 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet, not bad size. One here, I've actually been through this property. I've been working with a client recently in this area. 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square feet. So this is kind of a very typical price point for a typical number of bedrooms and size. So keep in mind, starting price points under $500,000, between $450,000 and $500,000. That's really where you want to be. And then once you start moving up, you'll certainly find bigger homes overall as well. Homes in the mid 500,000s. There's a few that are a bit more extravagant. Let's take a look. That one's a bit of a fixer. Let's take a look at this one. So I haven't been through this property itself, but it's kind of a cute, charming home. This one is a bit older than the normal one I mentioned, but this is from 1935. And remember, I did say property taxes are low. Here, $2,900 a year is quite low compared to what you'll find in Portland. So overall, very, very good. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,700 square feet. Now, something to keep in mind is that the older homes will more likely have basements. So homes from 100 years ago, this one's about 80, 90 years ago, 90 years old, probably will have basements, and they'll probably be unfinished basements. It doesn't matter on the square footage. So sometimes you'll see, in fact, you'll always see the square footage include finished and unfinished basement sizes. So that's basement spaces. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall, it's a cute, charming little cottage, little house. It's really adorable. And it's actually really, really nicely done throughout as well. So it's a good space. It looks like it has kind of a little basement down here that is finished. But yeah, beautifully done for a great price. So overall, really, really nice option overall. So that's just a very quick show of what you can get. $500,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,700 square feet. Let's look at a few more options. Okay, so let's take a look at another option. We're starting to step up that price point now, $555,000. Again, a fairly typical property of what you'll find in this area. This one is that ranch style home, 1955, right slap bang in the middle of that time period I mentioned that you're going to find a lot of properties. But it's still quite a big home. It's 2,700 square feet, so it is a big property. It is 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's on about 1/3 of an acre. This property a little bit further north in Portland, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Property taxes are about $6,000 a year. Again, not bad for a home that's around 2,700 square feet. Let's take a look. I've not seen the interior of this. Very, very typical style of what you can expect in this area. The kitchen's a little dated, but overall it's a good size. Again, 5 bedrooms, so I wonder if if they have a basement with this property. It's not really the norm. But overall, yeah, here's the basement space. Pretty good. You can see the headroom's decent because they've got a treadmill in here overall as well. Yeah, overall, kind of a typical property. It's on the larger size for a kind of a ranch style home. 2,700 square feet is pretty big, and it has a beautiful yard as well. So I will say that I didn't mention it earlier. Homes in Milwaukee, you're probably going to get a little bit more space as well than what you might find in Portland. In Portland, homes are on about 9 homes per acre approximately. This one you can see it's on about 1/3 of an acre. So you're definitely getting a lot more space and a lot more value for money in Milwaukee. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more options. Okay, I stumbled upon this one. I thought it looked so cute and charming. I definitely wanted to share this with you. So this home is 1940s. Again, remember there are homes before 1950s. The bulk are a little bit later, but this one is so cute I wanted to share it. It's small. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's 930 square feet, and it's on about 1/5 of an acre. But it's such a charming little home. I think someone will love something like this. Kind of a nice little lot and beautiful, large size overall. Remember, if the home's very small and the lot's quite big, I definitely feel like a more spacious lot. So really charming little home overall. It's only 930 square feet, but overall just a really pretty, charming house. Doesn't seem to need any work. Some limited headroom up here, but there is a little loft space overall. But yeah, overall, just a cute little adorable home. Property taxes on this, $3,300 a year. So $469,000 for a 2-bed, 2-bath, 930 square feet home. Okay, I want to finish things off and talk about a property that's definitely on the higher end of the scale in price point. Remember, prices in Milwaukee, they don't tend to go over $1 million. You may see the occasional one where it's along the river, but Milwaukee tends to be a much more affordable place overall. This one here, $699,000. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and then 2 additional half bathrooms. So it's 2 full, 2 half, and it's over 3,000 square feet. Property taxes $8,200 a year, and again, this is in that peak time frame, 1959. So it's this ranch style home, beautiful landscaping overall, definitely a higher price point than most places that you're going to find in Milwaukee, but it's also been beautifully renovated throughout. So really charming, huge windows, really takes in the greenery of the area. Beautiful kitchen overall, nicely updated throughout, very spacious. Kind of the dining rooms are right off it as well. It feels fantastic. It looks like we've got kind of a different level of floors. Yeah, a nice spacious kitchen, a good number of bathrooms, nice fireplace. This looks like it's down in a basement. So you will find some basements in these ranch style homes, not all of them. And then kind of a nicely green backyard with a new fence back there and a nice big deck as well. So overall, and this is the floor plan, overall a charming home, definitely on a higher end of the price point for this area, still under $700,000 for over 3,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 full and 2 half bathrooms, and overall a fantastic option. Okay, so to recap Milwaukee, there's almost 150 properties available in the area. Price points are varied. Mid 400s to around $700,000 is kind of the range. So lots in a kind of a small range, unlike Portland where it might be $400,000 to $2 million. This is a much tighter range in price points. So if you're in kind of that mid-level tier price points, you're going to have so many different options of homes to choose from. Lots of great options. Lots of homes in the 1950s, some that are older, a few newer, but generally 1950s, late 50s, early 60s at the latest is where you'll find most homes here. But again, price points are great, more affordable than Portland, definitely a top pick. Okay, so let's take a moment to recap Milwaukee and discuss the pros and cons. Firstly, the main pro are going to be as a much more affordable option than in Portland. So if you've been priced out of the Portland market, then this certainly could be a good fit for you. And also, don't forget about the property taxes here. This is Clackamas County, and it's much more affordable than Multnomah County, where Portland's located. Now, Milwaukee is also a good fit for someone looking for a quieter way of life. It's a lot less densely populated, and it's mostly single family homes in the area with very few apartment buildings. Now, this allows it to maintain that small town Oregon charm. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the cons. There's not that many, but the houses, I say, were mostly around the 1950s. There are a few older, but you will, of course, have to spend some time maybe updating those properties if they're not there yet. And then the town itself is evolving. You're certainly not going to find as many coffee shops or boutique stores here compared to parts of Portland, although that said, many of you might quite like that. Now, the vibe is very different here, so depending on what you're looking for, it really is important to explore both Milwaukee and Portland to see which one is a better fit for you. Now, if you are thinking about moving to Milwaukee or anywhere in the Portland metro area, then do reach out. I can certainly help you with your relocation. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.